Oh, for God's sake, you're still fidgeting with that.
Yeah, but I'm going live.
Tornadoes tomorrow,
Oh, so
4
there
p.m. to midnight. There's a
See?
slight
See?
chance.
See?
there are
See?
there are
Hello?
tornadoes expected, huh?
Tomorrow.
Slight chance. Slight chance.
Look at that. Friggin' tornadoes.
Off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Hey, by the way, I do have us going on YouTube Live. I don't know what you can hear or anything. So let's see. I don't even know how to make it public. I have no
How
idea.
do I even get there?
I have. Oh God, you're talking to the wrong person about that. I have. Oh,
You
shit.
don't know.
I'm gonna figure it out though. Hold on. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm sure that there is. I'm sure if you go to YouTube and look up morning disaster, somebody try to find it.
All right, hang on.
Go to YouTube and look up morning disaster and see if you can find the YouTube live version of today's show. All right.
All right, I'm going there now.
Big D or somebody like that'll find it. You watch within seconds. But I just want to tell you guys we are live. So.
Oh my God. Okay, so I just got all my son's YouTube history. What the hell is he looking at? The shit. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, parental controls are not working.
Uh-oh. Well, are you sure you're not on YouPorn? Make sure you're on YouTube.
Right, I saw your billboard yesterday.
Oh, the one that said I lost 100 and some odd pounds?
106, yeah.
They're going to have to fix that.
It looks great, though.
Yeah, but they're going to have to fix that.
Okay, I get on YouTube and I put in Ray Lytle Morning Disaster, and there is a lot.
Yeah, but go to
here.
Go to Morning Disaster 51320 is the name of it. Oh, look at that. All right, I found it. Yeah, I found it. Hold on, I'll put this link on Facebook.
Okay, what's it? 513 what? Oh, here, I found it.
20 is the year.
513.
Oh, Nikki, quit.
Yeah. Now make sure you're not listening to it. Also throw everybody off. But I'll put this in the so people can see the YouTube live, which is just a different angle. But like I said, at least it's a good backup of what's going on, because fucking Facebook is I don't know what they're doing. I got to test this and make sure that that it works. Anyway, all right. So let's see what else I got to go to. I got more COVID stuff I want to get to start the show. About the biggest things that people miss, and then what we found out is I don't miss any of them. These are the 5 biggest things that people miss, and I miss
all that common.
None of them. However, and I see people in the chat room. Oh, there's a whole chat room with YouTube Live. Look at that. Look at that. It says it sounds better there. Really? Oh, that's good. That's kind of cool. All right. Let's Heinz ketchup. You guys know Heinz ketchup?
Mm-hmm.
They have created a puzzle. This is nuts. And when you buy, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to describe it.
What is it? I don't know what you're talking about. What is it?
It's red.
Yeah, they've created a puzzle. All right, a 570-piece puzzle that's all red.
Really?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. Not shades of red. One shade of red.
Yes.
Just like a whole thing. It's just like a puzzle of red.
Yes.
It's ketchup red.
Oh, that's fucking stupid.
They have made a puzzle that's completely ketchup red.
Ugh. Ignorant.
They have done it. They have made a puzzle, and it's 570 pieces, and they're giving it away.
Well, good, because nobody in their right mind would buy that damn thing.
You should see it. It's literally just red.
And so I trademarked that obviously because it's under Heinz ketchup. So I can just like get something that's blue. And, oh, here's Doran's blue
Well,
puzzle.
you'd have to have
Yeah,
you have to
pay
have
me. Yeah.
you have to be you'd have to have like a blue something in your brand. I think. I mean they have red in their brand. You know.
Well,
Well, because they're
because they're ketchup and it's
yeah
red. I get it.
yeah.
It's so stupid. If I had a pair of balls, I'd have blue balls. Whatever. I blue
if
ball
you
puzzle.
if
There
you
you go.
had if you had a pair of balls, they would be
Right.
blue.
Maybe if I could get, you know what? I will have flesh. I will trade because I have big titties, big flesh titties, and I will just have a flesh colored puzzle. And yeah, that's
my
what I'll do.
I might my titty flesh colored
Puzzle.
puzzle.
Yeah, and you'll have a surprise nipple like right in the middle of it.
You
Yay.
you're very
One brown piece. Yay.
yeah, you white people, there's not a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? There's not a lot of variety. It's either white or pasty white. Of course, do you get kind of pinkish in area? I don't know. I don't know your
Oh, good God.
No, I'm just saying, is your skin totally white or is there some pink or some tan or what do you have going on?
I've got Native American in my blood, so I tan really easy.
Yeah, because I say in the summer when we've gone swimming and stuff, you're pretty
Yeah.
tan sometimes.
Yeah. I usually burn and then I turn brown.
Oh,
So
you have to burn
Yeah.
first.
I got to burn first. Yep.
I gotta be honest, being Mexican, I never ever burned
Oh, that's not true.
until
Raymond.
I got over.
Not true.
No, I think when I was 30 something.
Didn't we get burned in your pool?
Yes, like second degree. Don't you remember?
Yeah, what I'm saying, I didn't start burning until I was in my 30s. Literally, when I was a kid, I never had to wear sunscreen. Now that I'm above 50, I actually have to wear. I actually got to put a little sunscreen on. My wife will. When we went to Florida a couple years ago, my wife's like, she goes, "Yeah, honey, you're getting you need a sunblock or whatever." Because it was getting that bad,
Well, we didn't see it coming when you got burned at my house. I mean,
Yeah.
you didn't even like turn a different color. It's just like all of a sudden the next day you're like, oh, I have blisters. It's like, holy
Yeah,
shit.
but it was weird because I never got a sunburn until I was like 30. What is it, like 37 or something? I mean, it caught up. It caught up weird because when I was a kid, I just never got a sunburn.
Well, everything is different when you're a kid. I used to get brown as a berry and never got a burn except for my nose. And but yeah, I've had skin cancer removed from my shoulder.
Oh, really?
So oh yeah. I apparently got burned worse than I thought when I was younger, but it was never a thing, It's like, but now that I'm older, I mean, I put on at least 30 block before I go outside, and I
30
still
block.
get a lot of color. Yeah.
Oh my God, 30 block. That's got to be, good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be as thick as, that's got to be pancake batter.
Yeah, it's I use the spray though, but once it dries on your skin, because you have to spray it on and then let it dry, and it feels like it's gross.
When I was a kid, I never ever burned. It was after, I mean, Bella was born, so I was in my 30s. That's when I got my first first burn. And my wife, at some point, it must have affected her too, because she started carrying around sunblock for us. And when we went on vacation to Florida, we were in St. Petersburg. She said, "Honey, you're putting this on. You're putting on some sunscreen." I mean, it wasn't pancake batter thickness, but it was some sunscreen because I was burning. And a couple summers ago when I was swimming in your pool, I didn't wear any sunscreen at all, and I burned pretty bad.
You did.
Now my recovery,
you peeled and everything. Yeah. It was awful.
Well, my recovery's pretty quick. I still have that, but the initial burn does not feel good. So,
No.
Yeah. All right, let me get back to my list of things. By the way, the murder hornets are still, in case anyone's wondering, the murder hornets are still around. But I guess with murder hornets don't murder people. You know,
Yeah, they can.
they can, but but they're more known for murdering other,
Bees.
yeah, they're other
Yeah.
insects.
I saw a meme that was fantastic. It was little honeybees that were like barreling into the hive, and one of them had like a bottle of Jim Beam, and one of them had a roll of toilet paper, and they're like, getting ready for the murder hornets.
Yeah, they know because they know the murder hornets are coming.
Yep, they're going in quarantine.
So they're called murder hornets because of they murder other insects. It's not because
Mhm.
it's not because they murder humans.
It
Hey,
keeps things from them to do it.
let me ask you guys because I think you guys are you both single? What do you got?
I mean, no, I'm dating.
Yeah.
I have a boyfriend.
All right. So
He tolerates me, I think.
so you know you'll eat at each other's house and all that stuff. You're the whole boyfriend girl.
Yeah, well,
I-
he's kind of a phobe. I mean, like, I didn't see him for almost 3 weeks at one point. He was just
Because
he's
of-
working from home. He's a total introvert, completely the opposite of me. And he's totally digging
Oh,
the
so you're
working at
saying
home.
look, so if I meet him, he's not gonna come want to hug me.
Oh no.
Oh, I love him already.
Nope.
Seems like
Nope.
seems like a good guy. I like him already. I would like that. I like non-huggers. That's good.
Yeah.
What
He would
about
definitely keep the 6 foot distance.
Nikki? What about you?
It's a complicated situation. Let's not talk about it.
Oh, let's talk about
You're
it.
not dating a
Let's
married.
not.
Are you dating a Are you dating a married man?
No, I'm not dating a married
Oh.
man.
Then why can't you talk about it?
It's a
Because
complicated.
it's a complicated situation.
It's
Well, if he's not married, why is it
complicated.
complicated?
Yeah,
Because it's a complicated situation.
because he's married.
So you just have a fuck buddy, basically.
Yeah, is that what it is?
No.
Oh, wait. Is it
Okay.
is it not a guy? Oh, now it's getting hot.
It is a guy.
Oh. Is it a guy and his wife, or a guy and his
Ooh.
girlfriend?
No.
Or...
Swing a ding ding ding.
See, I never know. You know when Nikki puts the win in swinger.
Mm-hmm. That's what
Mhm.
I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Nope.
Is his first name Mister?
Mr.
Last name Hitachi.
Hitachi.
It's not Mr. Hitachi.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right. Just one. Okay. So there's a survey where they asked people, are they ready to date again? Like to stop doing virtual dating and actually do some dating in the time of COVID. Would you like to guess at where the number was
Ugh.
of the percentage of people that said they're ready to start dating face to face again?
I'm sure it's low.
Really?
Is it low?
I don't know.
I mean, who are we asking? Are we asking men or are we asking women?
They asked single people. They asked, "Are you
Just
ready
single
to
people.
stop
Okay.
doing face to face dating again?" What percentage said that they are ready? That's the question. And that is the question.
So how many people did they poll?
This
on
was done by Bumble.
Oh dear.
Is that one of those swiping apps?
I'm not sure.
I will guess 83%.
God damn, that's a specific. That is a very specific guess. I mean, good
I'm-
lord.
I'm going lower. It's got to be around 50.
80% of people. You got it. Nick.
Really?
You're very close. Yeah.
I was very close. I had to be so specific.
There. Yeah. If you would have just guessed 80, you would have won. There have been people that have been avoiding dating during the pandemic. They've been dating with by Zoom or by whatever. That's how they've been dating. Well, now they say they're ready to go face to face. And they're ready to get rid of this virtual date bullshit and go on to actually having real dates. They're ready for face-to-face dating again. One of the reasons that they want to date is 60% of people, they would like to find someone to have a real relationship with that they can, so they're not alone during the pandemic. I will say that's one of the greatest things about being married during all this is um there's never been any doubt in my mind who I, you know, there's been no doubt in my mind who I'll die with. You know, there's been, I know that uh, I would be with my wife and daughter, and I knew, God forbid, if the worst comes to worst, that's who I will be with when this whole thing ends. So a lot of people want that. They want that person.
Well, that's kind of a pathetic reason to want to be with somebody just so you don't die alone
Well,
during
no,
this.
of
I
course,
mean, really?
I'm overreacting, but that is one of the things that people wish they had someone to be with, so they weren't alone during this whole pandemic. That's the fear, though. Um, that right. That's the fear is that the people uh, they don't want to be lonely, you know, and so now they have uh, there's someone to be with. You're always someone to talk to, someone to eat with, someone to watch television with, someone to joke with. I'm telling you that's the best part about being in a marriage. You know what I mean? Someone to have sex with, someone you love.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of people are looking for that. Nikki obviously is very horned up in her house. Very horned up. I don't know what she's got going on.
Oh,
Let's see. 44% of people say that um, that they wish they were dating before all of this happened.
really?
Like, could you imagine just meeting someone right before all this happened?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
that'd
Right?
be a mess.
And then you'd still be talking to them and stuff, but you'd have to be wondering, like if you had to, that would be a good movie. That's a good movie. It's a good movie scenario we need to work on. Like you meet someone right before the pandemic, and then after meeting them, you like them, but you can't meet each other because of the pandemic. And so the ending would be when the pandemic's over, they finally get to come together.
Oh, that's a bad B movie.
Yeah, because most people would shower it up, you know.
Well, I mean,
If you're
and that's the
really
thing
interested.
too. I mean, do you think that relationship would be stronger just for the simple fact they can't be together? So you're like clinging
Well,
to something, and
I gotta be honest. I talked about my wife and I's relationship the other day.
Mhm.
I think yesterday. I'm telling you, the fact that I met her, I didn't really get into into everything, but we met each other in the parking lot of a bar. All right. My buddy, well, my radio partner at the time, John Lamb, it was just coming to town in Texas, and so we wanted to get him laid, and so we hooked him up with this girl that we knew, and my wife was the one that was giving her a ride. They weren't really that close of friends or anything, but they were at a party, and my wife said, "I'm going if anybody needs a ride." And this girl goes, "Can I have one?" She goes, "Yeah." And then she gets in the car, and the girl goes, "Hey, do you mind dropping me by this bar?" My wife goes, "Oh, okay, whatever." And so she drives the girl to the bar, and the girl says, "Hey, come out and meet these guys." And so the girl that we were hooking John up with was there to meet him. And the other girl walking out of the car was gorgeous. She was the driver, and that was my wife. But I was just, I was immediately transfixed by, how she looked. She had the perfect look for me. And
and she is gorgeous. I mean,
yeah, my wife is
hands down.
she's
She's-
but
uh,
she's gorgeous on the outside, yeah, but really on the inside she's the nicest, sweetest person I've ever met, and so they were coming towards us, and so my roommate Joel, who you guys have seen Joel in the chat rooms and stuff before. He's a
mhm.
great guy. I told him, I said, look at that girl. I said, oh my God, I said, we got to talk these girls into coming by the house. And of course, John didn't care because he was literally just coming to Texas. And, wanted to set him up with a girl that we knew would show him a good time. And that's who this girl that my wife was giving a ride to was for. And I told Joel, I'm like, look at that girl. And so when they come up, Joel goes, hey, you guys want to come by the house? Have a drink or whatever. And he talked them into coming by the house, which was amazing. It really was. And so we went to the house and we talked to them. And I'm pretty sure my wife thought I was a dick, just wasn't thinking much about me. But Joel was able to get the phone number for me. Because he's told her, he said, listen, she was working in hotels and stuff in sales. And Joel goes, well, we got there's an opening for a salesperson at the radio station. Give me your phone number and I'll have, so he found a way to get the phone number. And he gave it to me. So I started calling her. All right. And every day I called her and bothered her.
Of course you did.
Yeah, every day. I called her. I said, remember me? I was the guy, blah, blah, blah. And then we just talked. And we did this for a couple of weeks where I was saying, we need to go out and do this. How about we do this? And I literally asked her out about 15 times and she turned me down. But we talked to the phone and I think that there was some kind of charm in speaking to her on the phone. There was something I think there was something charming about me. And that made her finally accept the date. And it was on that first date that, I was ready to get married after the first. After the first date, I would have married her.
How long did you guys date before you actually got married?
Oh, my wife and I we met in Texas in September. I think late September in 1990. And then they pissed me off at work by, there's a whole story that I'll have to get into another time, but they pissed me off at work a couple months into the dating. And Lamb and I pretty much said, oh, really? Well, fuck you then. And we quit. And they were like, well, you can't quit. And we had discovered something in our contracts that actually we could quit. And so it's a long story. I'll tell it another time. But I was dating this woman that I knew I was in love with. Like I said, I knew I was in love with her after the first date. And we, I went into her a couple months into dating. This was before Christmas. I went and I said, I'm going to have to move. And she's like, what? And I said, yeah, I'm going to have to move to Illinois. Now, this is a girl that had never seen snow before. She grew up on the beach in Texas.
Yeah, in Corpus, right.
And I somehow talked her into leaving with me. 2 months into the relationship, I somehow talked her into getting inside a U-Haul and driving across the country to where, by the way, on the drive up from Corpus to Peoria, there was, we encountered snow. So the first time she saw snow was moving. And yeah, and we've been together ever since. So,
oh, that's
yeah.
great.
But I think it was that time from the time we met, okay, where she maybe looked at me and is like, who is this? Who the hell does this guy think he is? I think there was that time where she was wondering, who is this asshole to agreeing to go on a date with me? And by the way, the first date was amazing. The first date was,
Where did you guys go? What did you do?
Oh, listen to this.
Oh boy.
So she had turned down everything. I wanted to go see the Spurs. She didn't want to go. I wanted to go. There was a uh, it was right on the coast, okay, right on the coast of the Gulf, and I had a chance to go on some cruise or something, you know, and she said no to that, and then she said no to dinner several times. The thing that finally got her was, and I can't remember the name of the celebrity or whatever. Somebody was hosting some kind of charity thing, all right, a charity
Okay.
auction, and two of the celebrities, it was a celebrity auction, and two of the celebrities were me and John. And because the show, when we got live in Corpus, the show really took off. While this is while I was dating my wife, the show really started to hit its stride. And so we became celebrities overnight. And so there was a celebrity auction with a bunch of just different celebrities around Corpus, and then like a country artist, and it's people like that. And so we were going to that, and so I asked her if she wanted to go, and she said yeah.
Wow.
Hmm. But I don't know. She could have agreed just because of the other famous people there, or what. But she decided she would go. That was the thing that she finally agreed to. And after I had tried so many times for her to go out with me, that's what finally got her. Was going to this event. And like I said, it was at the end of that night when I would have married. If she would have said, "Okay, now you got to put a ring on it," I would have. I would have found a way to, you know, I would have found a way to get a ring.
There's so many people out there, Ray, that have stories like that, but
Uh-huh.
it never ends well. And you guys, you defied the odds.
Yeah, we're
I mean,
we're
you guys got married. You're
we're
still married.
yeah.
I mean, that's
I mean,
amazing.
we met each other almost. It'll be this September. It will be 30 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My parents were the same way. My mom, she worked at a telephone office. She was like one of those, oh, you put the plugs in and all that, like Lily
Really?
Tomlin did. Yeah, that's what my mom did. And she worked with this girl. And this girl's like, hey, I've got a date with this guy, and you want to double date and date my uncle. So I guess it was like a huge, family, and there was not a big age difference between uncles and whatever. So my mom's like, yeah, sure. So my mom went on a date with this girl's uncle, and this girl actually was dating my father.
Oh my God.
And so once my dad took a look at my mom, he ditched my mom's coworker and started, asked my mom out. And that was in March of 1967, and they got married in August of 1967.
Look at that.
Aw.
See, I'm telling you, and they were your parents were together until your dad died. I mean, they were,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep. Oh yeah, they were. Yeah, they were married the whole. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it wasn't rough. I mean, I remember growing up, they had some patches, but I think all marriages do. But they worked it out and stuck together and always had each other's backs, and
yeah.
it was a good thing.
I gotta be honest. My wife and I, we've never even come close to.
Really.
Yeah, never, never. No, I'm sure. I'm sure it's got to be hard. I'm sure I drive her crazy. I mean, it's got to be. There's got to be. I don't see any other way. I mean, there's got to be things about living with me that are just disgusting, offensive, or whatever. But for me, I'm extremely fortunate. She,
Yeah, Dee's great. She's great.
yeah.
I consider her a very good friend of mine, and I love your wife.
We've
She's
never
the
even
best.
had. I can't even remember us having a rough patch. Maybe a couple of talks here and there, but I just no, I just don't remember ever. Like I hear so many people talk about. Well, there was that one time we were close to divorce, and I've never even thought of it. So I don't know. I just I just count everything as luck, and continue. And let's face it, now I'm unemployed. Look at me. I'm 50 plus years old. I'm unemployed. I've only got one skill. I've only got one skill set, and that's doing this. And there's no other radio stations you know, available for doing this. So it's basically either find a way to make Morning Disaster like this thing take off and find a way to, live off it, or try to figure out something else to do for a living at 50 plus years old. So you could see, Nikki, you're talking about my tweets on Saturday.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about, is the reality of things. Um,
Yeah.
because if I can't make this work, then I have to find something else to do for a living, which isn't that easy
Mhm.
when this is all So that's what the whole thing was about the other day.
Yeah.
So just think about that. And now I'm going through but the thing is, here's the good part, is I'm going through a pandemic, but
Ugh.
there's no doubt during this whole thing who's got my back. There's no doubt.
Mhm.
There's no doubt who's going to, when I'm really pissed at somebody, who's right there going to motherfucker them along with me. You know what I mean? Like I'll be going, like I'll sit there and I'll be like, those
Well, it's awesome to have that. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of
I'm
people
telling you,
don't have that.
It's one thing when somebody really does you wrong or somebody really pisses you off, you sit there and you go, those motherfuckers. It's nice to have someone sitting right next to you that goes, right, those
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
you're right, those motherfuckers. You like to hear reinforcement.
Yes.
It's what we all
Absolutely.
need. That's what I get.
Absolutely.
Now it's weird because, I got those motherfuckers, and I get my wife going, you're right, those motherfuckers. And now having
Mhm.
a child, my daughter, if she's in the room, she'll be like, those motherfuckers. It's like you're getting the support. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's awesome.
That's the best part about being married and having a true partner and all that stuff. Whenever you're angry or you're happy, you're like, oh yes, god damn you, right there, yes, right there with me, saying along with me is my wife, and the same thing with her. I mean, the support, you know, it's different issues. Oh, I just saw the chat. Rob's like, he's in a meeting and he can't listen. Yeah, I wouldn't listen to the part about I probably wouldn't listen either to the part I was just calling people motherfuckers. But yeah, I mean, it's very bizarre to have someone. Well, I shouldn't say it's bizarre. It feels very right and normal to have someone not with you. Uh, when I complain about politics or something, I'll be like, oh, that freaking idiot. I know the person next to me is going to be, ugh,
On the same page.
yeah, what
That's
a
huge.
friggin' moron. And even my daughter, the same way. To be, no matter what the situation, to have someone that agrees with you and has your back is a very nice feeling in this day and age. You know, so I'll tell you, I love that. I mean, I just think it's I don't know. I think it's the best part about a relationship. And these people in this Bumble, that's what they're looking for. I mean, if you're in a relationship with someone that you're always arguing with, that's why I've told you before. It's why I can't understand these people like uh I'm a Cubs fan. I
Hmm.
knew very early on that there's no way when I was a young kid. I knew I was never going to marry a Cardinal fan. I just knew. I mean, I eliminated that. So I met someone who was a big Houston Astros fan. All right.
But not a Cardinals
No, but
fan.
she was a big Houston Astros fan when I met her, and also a big Dallas Cowboys fan. Now, when I was a kid, I hated the Dallas Cowboys.
Really?
Hated them. I've never been a fan of the Houston Astros, and so we knew early on. I knew it was going to be a problem. So my wife and I, we loved each other. And early on in our relationship, we had a discussion. And I said, and I remember telling her, I'm going, listen, I can't be married to someone that doesn't share my interest. And one of my really big interests is the Chicago Cubs. And my wife said, she goes, that's how I feel about my Cowboys. And she said,
Hmm.
She said, "What's your football team?" I said, "Well, I love the Chicago Bears." She goes, "I'll tell you what." She goes, "I will root for the Cubs, and I'll become the biggest Cubs fan if you will do the same for the Cowboys."
Oh dear.
So we made a deal.
Mhm.
We made a deal
It's
almost.
compromise.
Yeah.
That's the basis of a good relationship is compromising.
So now
And respect.
I am a huge, or now she is a gigantic Cubs fan. I mean, my wife is, it's amazing. Her hatred for the Cardinals is more intense than mine. It really is, because I really don't hate the Cardinals anymore. You know what I mean? Because growing up here, I rooted for the Cubs until they were out of it. Then I root for the Cardinals. My
Yeah, that's a good idea.
my wife has never had that, because she didn't grow up here. So she is a huge Cubs fan, and that's about it. She doesn't even have any interest in the Astros at all. Meanwhile, I became a big Dallas Cowboys fan until she started weaning away from them because of some bad decisions they've made.
Yeah.
And I still follow them. I don't know if they're my favorite team anymore, but I still can't stop watching them. I think I don't really have a favorite football team anymore. But
Well, I never had a football team
Really?
until my son assigned one to me. Because I love New Orleans. I love New Orleans.
He told you what team. He told you what team you
music.
have to be a fan of.
Yeah. My son decided that I'm a Saints fan.
It's a good team to be a fan of.
Yeah, well, it is. And now that I'm, learning about football because he plays
Right.
and things like that, it's like, yeah, well, hey, that was a good pick, son.
It's
good.
it's good. It's good to be all in on a football team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would think.
And I'm learning a lot about, and another thing too, it's like he researches the players, like how many players that are on the Saints that actually went to LSU, and he's a huge LSU fan.
He knows.
Oh my God, we need to put him on the show.
That's
if
pretty
you want
good.
to talk sports with somebody, this kid he is just like this. He just studies it.
A little.
And he says he's going to LSU. I said, well, that's awesome.
He's a little
Are you going to get a
sportsopedia.
scholarship? Because yeah.
Yeah, how the hell are you going to pay out of state rate unless you move to Los Angeles and get that in-state cut?
Right.
I don't know how the hell you're going to go to LSU, kid.
I actually had a client. This is a good story. I had a client that their daughter was hell-bent on going to Florida. And the tuition to go to Florida when you are an Illinois resident is,
the out of state.
oh my God. So her and her husband secretly got a divorce.
What?
And they secretly got a divorce and went down to Belleville. They kept it out of the Springfield area, so it was kind of a secret. They secretly got a divorce. So then she bought a condo in Florida and got
established
a Florida
residency
license, and so she could get her daughter in-state tuition.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's broke the law. Just
totally. Yeah. Well,
I guess technically they didn't break the law because they
no, they didn't. They
it's not illegal to buy a condo. Yeah.
And their daughter she just graduated from law school.
Good for them.
Yeah. She's a lawyer.
Do they vacation in Florida and stuff though? Do they vacation there?
They take separate vacations. I don't know. It's kind of a strange marriage, but I guess it's technically not a marriage anymore. I don't know that they got remarried after all this. It's been like 6 years. So
they take separate vacations. Oh, there's some fucking around going on
there. Yeah.
Like I adore my wife, but if she decided we were going to take separate vacations, I would question some stuff. I would be like, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on here? That ain't going to happen.
Yeah, well, he likes to golf and she likes to lay on the beach. So,
Yeah, but it sounds like they both like sex with other people. I mean, like, oh, I like to golf and sex with other people. Oh, I like to lie on the beach and have sex with other people. I think that's probably the problem.
Oh, but no, I mean that was a really good way to work around the tuition of college.
No, yeah, they got the in-state tuition, so they saved a bunch of money.
Even to go to it's Illinois College or something like that. I was talking with a girlfriend of mine, who's married, and his daughter from a previous marriage, she wants to go to Illinois College. Well, it's like $22,000 a year.
Yeah.
And she's like, why don't you just go to Lincoln Land? And it's like $9,000 a year, and you can stay at home. And yeah, the whole college thing is it's stressful, especially for someone
I'm
like me, single mom. You know, my dad did set up a fund for my son, but it's still, I mean, you know, the way the
yeah,
economy
college
is
sucks.
now,
Yeah.
and how investments are and things like that. I might have enough money to get him through 1 year, but that's it.
Well, I know my daughter's just graduating high school. Now my daughter is 6, so I don't know. I don't think she's gonna be able to go to college next year, but I think that it's rough. Those are rough waters to traverse to get through.
No, definitely.
You know, your child going to college is not easy. Uh, Setting, uh, you know, just like you said, figuring out the finances and stuff, because you don't want your child to be pinned down
Right.
to a bunch of loans. And by the way, for fall of 2020, shit, you're crazy if you don't do a community college, save the money, and go online,
Exactly.
and then just transfer to somewhere
Exactly.
that gets back to normal. I mean, Nikki went to college for.
Yeah.
Nikki got that associate's degree. It took her 13 years, but
Associate's degree.
no, I know you went to McMurray for a long time.
I went to McMurray. I have all the student loans to prove it,
Yes,
and a nice little
God.
plaque with my bachelor's degree on it.
it only took her 8 years to get that bachelor's degree,
Yes, it did.
but you
Well,
have
I
you
had a
good time.
scholarship, and I dropped out on a scholarship, so
Oh, damn.
that pissed a lot of people off. So
Yeah, but you turned out all right.
I
You
did
turned out all
okay.
right.
I did all right.
I had a scholarship for vocal music, but I lied to people. Well, I didn't lie to people. I just didn't stop them when they thought the scholarship was for something else.
Well, you know, my scholarship was in music as well. The
Oh,
theatrical, fine arts,
oh
music.
yeah, look
Yeah,
at that.
yeah. Wits Blackburn. Yeah. Yep. I was fine with that. I just didn't like all the other shit that went with it. You know, like algebra and literature and
Ugh.
shit
You
like that.
you didn't like
Cool.
you didn't
No.
like the yeah. Well, I always wondered when I transferred and started going for just radio broadcasting. I to this day I wonder why in the fuck did I have to take a physical geography class? I mean, I understand I understand why psychology, you know.
Oh, I
Understanding
love
that.
psychology.
I understand why I had to take it because of what I do for a living. There are times it came in handy. In my entire life, physical geography has never. I've never needed it. I've never needed to know, you know, the terms of rocks in my broadcast career.
No, but I understand the psychology, and I'm glad that I took it, because with what I do for a living,
Yeah.
you know, you listen to everyone's problems, and you know, they look to you for advice and things like that. And I actually, you know, when I went to cosmetology school, we had business, we had accounting, we had chemistry, we had all these different things that came with your cosmetology degree, but there wasn't psychology in the curriculum. And oh my God, you need it.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that I had it
Well,
already
but
in
I
my,
like
in my background.
what you're saying though is you're talking about the difference between the well-rounded education you get from a university as
Mhm.
compared to the more specific stuff you got from the trade school. The trade school,
Exactly.
you're concerned about setting up a business, you need to know blah blah blah, and that's yeah. I think these are all things that we need to. These are all things that we need to consider. You know.
Yeah. And I'm all about putting like vocational things back into the high schools, like home ec and shop class and things like that. I loved, I mean, I got kicked out of home ec because I lit shit on fire, but
Oh, I love
um,
that. Yeah.
like shop class, I mean, it's like I can now I learned a lot. I can fix things. I can fix minor things around my house. I know, you know, minor woodworking and things like that. But my shop teacher did cut his finger off in class one day.
He cut the wait a minute.
Yeah,
The guy teaching you to be safe cut his
yeah,
finger off.
Oh yeah. He was telling, like, showing, like, you're supposed to use a push stick when you push something like through a bandsaw,
Yeah.
and he didn't. He used his index finger and cut it off right in front of all of us.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Uh,
God.
Yeah, sure did. And
What the hell was
we
he?
all
What
were
was
like,
he?
I think 2 people vomited.
What was he teaching
But
you guys on that day? Good
yeah,
Lord.
well, yeah,
How to
those
be
extra credits.
traumatized.
Well, I tell you what, to this day, if I ever come in contact with a bandsaw, I am not going to push it through with my finger. I am going to use a push stick. I mean, that lesson stuck for real.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, listen, Morning Disaster is brought to you by our friends at Recon Tex. A proof is in the performance. Recon Tex, right on the corner on 9th and Black in Springfield. Recon Tex is doing a steam clean and disinfectant for all cars, for first responders, any of you frontline healthcare workers. They do it for you guys for free. Now, for us regular customers like Doran, whose car I believe is being
Yeah,
done
it's
right
there
now,
now.
right?
Yes.
For regular customers, they do it for free with the purchase of a detail or the purchase of a wash or whatever. They're throwing it in for free. It's Recon Tex 670-1132. Doran, you took your car in yesterday.
Yes, I did. I'm gonna tell you what.
Which
Those
loaner?
guys
Which loaner
are
are you driving?
Oh, I got a tricked out, bright, big bird yellow Jeep that has Recon Tech in the windows
Oh,
and all that.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like a driving advertisement for them right now, and I freaking love it.
That's
My
that's
son
awesome.
does it. He's like, do we have to take it back? Can't we just keep this one? Like, no, we've got it. Yeah, mommy's car is going to get cleaned. He's like, yeah, but I like this one better. But no, they are so nice there. They're like, I walked in and they're like, I'm going to get you a loaner. And because I told them, hey, it's a long walk back to Divernon. So, but yeah, no, they were so nice. And they're like, what are you getting? I'm like, you do it. Do it.
You
I
do
need
you.
the detail. I need all of it. It's, it's not garbage car. It's not Blint's car, but it's the nasty vehicle. It's
Now,
pretty nasty.
when you
I
get
didn't take a before picture though. I'm
when
so
you get
pissed
it
about
back, when you get if it's really messy, they probably took one. If it,
I hope so.
that's how you know. That's how you
dog
know.
fur and Gatorade and coffee and
That's
oh my
how
god,
you
mud.
know. That's how you know the car's bad.
Well,
When
yeah.
they're taking pictures, you know what I mean.
I hope they
That's
are.
when you know. That's when you know the car's a mess.
Yeah. Well, the amount of crap that I had to take out of it, I felt so bad. It's like I had like 2 trash bags full of just crap that I took out of my car just so they could clean it. I
Really?
mean, I had, oh my God.
wow.
Oh yeah, I had like pillows, I had blankets, I had towels, I had jumper cables, I had a first aid kit, I had like a pump,
Oh,
like
poor
air up
people.
your tire that you plug into your cigarette lighter. I mean, the amount of shit that I took out of that car was unbelievable. So anyway,
So they're obviously you're doing the full blown the full on
doing it,
detail. Yeah, good
doing
for
it, and
you.
doing it, and doing it well. Yep.
But you're
They're gonna hook
liking
me up.
their loaner. That's that frontline loaner. I know the yellow,
Oh yeah,
the bright
yeah.
yellow.
But
Jeep.
oh my God, they're so nice. I mean, they're just so nice. It's like when you walk in there, it's just they're
Yeah.
like, hey, like you've been their friend forever. And I didn't even tell them who I was at first, and then I told them who I was.
Did you
They're like,
wear?
oh, hey,
Did
yeah,
you
we're
wear
friends.
did you wear a titty shirt
Yeah.
or you know what I mean? Did you wear anything? You know.
No, I did
Oh,
not.
okay.
I did not have the cleave
Well, because
out.
that's because I have. There's no redeeming features that I have, but if I had like a redeeming feature, I would accentuate it when going into
I did
first
not.
visits.
I did not. I had on jeans. I was wearing heels. I've been
Right.
wearing high heels again because I don't know, because I can. I don't know.
You're wearing
Yeah.
heels
Yeah, I was wearing high heels.
to accentuate the heels. Some women they wear the heels. Their butt looks a certain way. I'm just saying. For first,
Yeah.
I'm thinking for first impressions.
Yeah, well, I was trying to work the long legs, maybe take a
Yeah.
little attention off the top heavy. I don't know.
Listen, all I know is I have no redeeming qualities. There's nothing like there's nothing that I want to show off when meeting people. If you got it, why not flaunt it? Good for you. And now Recon Text, they've got your car. We'll get a full report when you get it back.
I know.
But you
I
got to be
can't
liking
wait.
driving that loaner. I know it's a sweet car.
Oh, it is. It's so nice.
I'll and here's someone who Nikki's going to be using, I imagine it sounds like in the next couple of days. DTE Technologies 4080001. DTE Technologies is a company that will make your company's internet better. For example, everybody has internet networks that they run for their business, and that's what DTE Technologies does. They are available 4080001 24 hours, depending on what kind of setup that you have. They'll give you a free 2-hour edit or 2-hour audit of your entire system. And then they find ways to help make sure your system runs smoothly and to save you money. For example, Rob, just one of his clients, they use this downtime of people working from home and stuff to update their phones. I think I told this story.
Yeah.
He now saves them thousands, almost $10,000 a month on their phone bill, which is pretty
Oh,
incredible.
that's just crazy. That's crazy.
At the amount of savings he got for them. It is DTE Technologies 4080001. And I've told you guys about this before, and I know some of you have called, and I want more of you to do it. You might be listening from the morning disaster from an uncomfortable chair. Maybe some of you might be broadcasting from an uncomfortable chair. Why? There's no need to do so. You can call Core Installation Furniture and Supply right now. Call Core Installation 741-1079, and they can get you a chair delivered for under $200. That's Core Installation, COR Installation, Furniture and Supply. Call today and get yourself a nice, comfortable chair. They will get it for you under $200 and make sure everything's all put together right, correctly, blah, 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 and drop it off to your house. You don't even have to see them. In the time of COVID, you don't even have to see your delivery person. You buy it, the next day it's sitting on the porch.
But what if I want a hug?
I'm sure. I wonder if you can say, yes, I just want a hug.
Yeah, drop my chair off on my porch and then hug me, and then we're good.
I guess it depends if you're wearing heels or not. I don't know.
I know.
But they will do that for you. That's Core Installation. 741-1079 is their phone number. The sponsors of the show. Today we have been running, because Facebook Live's having so many problems, we're running a Facebook Live feed on one angle. And then the other angle we're running, this is our first day ever using YouTube Live. Now, it's something we've had available for a long time. I've never tried it, but I'm trying it today. So let me know, for those of you who are using it, let me know if it's a good experience or not. Usually it's multicam. It's me in one window and Dorn in the other, and Nick and blah, blah, blah. But it's just me today. I'm wondering how it works for you guys. Is this something, and the question is this something we should consider doing? Because I don't know what Facebook, I don't know what the hell their deal is. I really
I don't know
don't.
what their deal is, but I've been getting messages. Like I just got a text message from my girlfriend down in Carlinville,
Right.
and she said that she's been listening to us, and she's doing it, I think, via YouTube, I think. And she's like, I've been listening to you today. She goes, this is great. So, however she's listening to us, I keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I
because I've
just,
got people that I normally don't listen that are listening. So that's awesome.
now, one thing I don't know is I don't know. I think I put the link up. I think I put the link up in YouTube. I think I put the link up on the Facebook page. And I don't know if that just runs it live, or I don't know how any of this works. So I'll find out when the show's over. I'll read messages and so on and so forth. So just let me know how it worked, and if we should consider switching over to YouTube Live full time, because we have been looking for something other than Facebook Live, because Facebook Live has been, they're in the process of retooling their own video stuff.
Okay.
But although it was working fine, for some reason this week we really had a problem with it. And that's just something that we can't, that's something we can't have. We need to have something more consistent.
Yeah, I just got another message too. It says, "I'm listening to you too, Hooker. I love your ass." Okay, so yeah, people.
I'm listening
are
to
listening.
YouTube, Hooker. You
Yeah,
know,
listen, Hooker.
that's a
I
good
love you.
listen. That's a good friend. That's a good friend
Yeah,
when they call you
yeah,
Hooker.
yeah.
Only a,
Feel me, Hooker. I'm
only a
listening to
good
you too,
friend calls
Hooker.
you
I love
Hooker.
you.
So well, we
Awesome.
do have to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
You know.
Well, you figure it out because I'm technologically inept. But I'm following your lead, Ray. Just tell me where I need to go and what I need to log into and shit. So.
Because I love doing this, and I want people to be able to you know, to see us and hear us as much as they possibly can. So
Yeah,
by
it's
all
awesome.
means, should we consider YouTube Live? The other thing is Twitch. A lot of people telling me about Twitch.
Yeah, I think we need to look into that a little bit more. I was talking to the BF about it, and he said it's kind of glitchy. So
Well,
let's look into Twitch a little bit more
it also
and
seems
see
to
what.
be for a lot of younger people. I mean, I know there's a lot of
Right,
gaming stuff on there.
right.
Ladies and gentlemen, now here's someone to pull up those young listener numbers for
Oh,
us.
for shit's sake,
Sean Boleyn.
Sean,
There we go.
really.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, hello, Sean. Thank you for joining us at 9:35.
Yeah, when we normally
That's the
stop. But
second
yeah,
day in a
that's fine.
row.
Tuning calls. That's the buzz I run into in these times.
And I think he drives to a place where he has a really bad connection, and then that's when he calls in.
Yeah, I call this place
Sounds like
everywhere.
a song from an airplane bathroom.
Well, I don't get to do anything interesting in those places.
Live from the airplane bathroom, it's Sean Bolint.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'd like to think that vehicle I pay all that money for. Does this sound better?
Yeah, I sound a little bit better. Yeah.
Dude, are you seriously in your car? Like, where are you?
Is it his car?
Yeah, in my vehicle.
If you listen
Garbage
close,
car.
if you listen close, you'll
I
hear.
went to my bank.
Right.
I went to my bank and I went to pick up a sausage biscuit from Wendy's.
Of course.
And a funny thing happened along the way. It takes a lot to kill my appetite, but a manure truck helping along the landscaping at Walmart next door kind of killed my. Gee, I want a sausage biscuit buzz. I mean, this was not a pickup.
You saw
This was a
what
wholesale
killed your buzz?
Distributor of animal manure.
Oh.
I was going to go to Wendy's, and well,
I missed it. What did you see that made you not hungry anymore?
A massive manure truck was doing its bidding. They were taking care of the landscaping at the neighboring Walmart.
Oh.
And I mean, like I said, it was not an S10. It was not an F-150.
It was
not an F-350.
So you think there's at least a ton? Was there a ton of manure, or how much manure are we talking about?
Yes, it was like a cement truck of manure. I didn't even know they made trucks like that for manure.
That's what you call a shit ton.
Yeah,
Sean.
that's a shit ton.
It's a
my
shit
friend.
ton. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sean, do you have some news for us?
Let's see here. Let's see what I.
Sean, it's time to get to the death and destruction of the world. Here's Sean Bolint with your news.
Well, there's no shortage of that. Things getting pretty interesting with municipalities and counties talking about going their own way and reopening. Madison County, down in the Metro East St. Louis area. We've heard a lot of anti-Springfield, anti-Chicago stuff out of the southeast corner of Illinois, get into Effingham, places like that. But Madison County, an area that's not across the board Republican. It's kind of a half and half kind of county, and the county board was at war with each other, and all of a sudden there was a bipartisan, on the same page vote, 26-2. Hey, we're going to reopen this puppy. Restaurants and other businesses can open to 25% capacity. The governor yesterday says, well, you face the potential loss of state federal funds. Federal funds come through us, and there could be sanctions against individuals. We'd rather not go in that direction. But
So
boy,
what
things
you're
get
saying
pretty
is
tense
is
out
the
there.
is the governor is going to pull federal funding if they go against his orders?
Well, he can't pull funding. He'll call
Basically,
state funding.
he
right?
left that option. That option's on the table, so to speak. He didn't say
Okay.
it will happen, but I got
So
got
Madison
this
County
thing
is
that,
starting when can they operate as normal?
like they voted yesterday at 5, went into effect today.
Oh, so today.
Wow.
Wow. No wonder you're out eating manure or whatever, or Wendy's or whatever you're doing.
Oh, there's nothing better than the taste of a warm biscuit next to a cow
dear.
and cow flatulence.
So
They just
you're
go great
all right. So
together.
my friend, my buddy is the police chief of Alton. Is that in Madison County?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means his city is now operating as normal.
Well, there's the other trick too. I mean, again, if you're a bar, well, you've got to license yourself through the state, the liquor control folks,
Yeah, and your municipality. And if the
so-
whole county wants to do it, does that? And your municipal, maybe your city doesn't. Because
yeah,
listen,
and
if
there are a few,
Sangamon
so-called
County,
home rule.
if Sangamon County decides to do this, where we're located, there's a big difference in Sangamon County as living in Springfield as compared to living in Pawnee.
Mm-hmm.
Or one of the smaller villages. Because COVID is we've got over 100 COVID cases in Springfield. Whereas
But Springfield
in
is not Sangamon County. It's just
Yeah,
the
but-
center of Sangamon
yeah,
County.
it's the biggest part of the county. So I'm just saying that the things are different. I mean,
Mhm.
whereas you can go to some podunk town in Sangamon County where they'll have like 0 cases of COVID. What in the hell is he
But
doing?
Is he eating
it's
something?
wild.
Of
He's
course.
digesting.
Of
He's
course.
digesting.
He's
Jesus.
he's unzipping just
Hey,
in
what?
case.
I got the allergies killing me.
Uh-huh. All right.
He's unzipping
Well,
his
that's about
pants to make
Senator
room for the
Duckworth to
biscuit.
be,
He's unzipping in case just in case.
it's a buzzkill. Senator Tammy Duckworth, there's a buzz she could be Joe Biden's vice presidential pick.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's responded to those rumors.
Yeah, what is she
We'll
saying?
see. Because I just don't see how like Kamala Harris. I mean, I'm just strictly talking politics and effectiveness. When you were a presidential candidate and never gained traction, I don't see that. Four or five of the initial names about, well, you've really got to have an upward trend to you. And Tammy Duckworth, whether someone's opposed to her politics or not, she's still a fresh face, and that means a lot. Much less that.
Do they
Much less she's pretty outspoken.
Let me ask you this. Do they really want to take her out of her Senate seat? Who do we in Illinois? Who,
Well,
do,
that's a
who
good
do we
question,
have
and of
lined up
course,
to be the next senator?
Illinois is pretty blue, so
Yeah,
I
I mean,
imagine they
and
like,
if she becomes vice
and the
president,
governor picks the successor. So.
then the Governor Pritzker would have to
Yeah.
pick someone. Who does he have lined
Yeah.
up? And if you're the Democrats, you would want to make sure that it's somebody. And I hate talking politics, but I will talk them.
Mhm.
You
Only
want to
for a
make sure,
minute.
you want to make sure that it's somebody that can win an election. Just like if you're in a Republican state, you'd want to make sure that it's when when Trump pulls these people out of Republican states to join his administration, you want to make sure that the next person, if you're a governor, you want to make sure the person you put in that seat can win an election. Who in Illinois is next?
Well, that's a good question.
One thing about Duckworth is Duckworth will win.
20 years ago,
There's no one they run against
were
her.
right.
No one they run against her wins. She
True.
is almost an unbeatable candidate. Do you
Yes.
really want her to lose that Senate? That's like Dick Durbin. Dick Durbin could have been vice president years ago. Why would you want to take him out of the seat? His strength as a senator, and I know some of you people who are real Republican, you probably disagree with it. But listen, I don't care what. Look at the stats. It's true. He's a
He's been there
very
forever. Yeah.
strong candidate. You don't want to take him out
Mm.
of the Senate seat. And I'm saying the same could be true for Duckworth. Probably hurts her.
Maybe an Andy Menard. I don't know.
Well, Andy Menard would be great. Andy Menard would be a fantastic candidate, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think being a downstate
have to
I
say
think being a downstate candidate has definitely helped Dick Durbin.
Mm.
Um,
Well, I tell you, this whole political business is it's just so weird. It's wall to wall, too many debates, too many people, all this wall to wall coverage, and then all of a sudden you get down to two, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there are people running for president, huh?
Yeah, well, I think vice
It's
president's
gonna
more.
be weird.
I think vice president's extremely important this time around. I really do.
Yeah, and you know what? And
They're both
I'm
because
telling
both the
you,
guys running for president are so freaking old. You know,
you know,
It's true. It's true.
and I'm not trying. I'm
know,
not trying to
and this
be. I'm not trying to be too controversial when I say this, but can anybody honestly tell me you think that either Trump or Biden will still be alive in 4 years?
I don't know.
they could be. The question is how functional.
Well, consider the
Well,
president
how old is Trump?
75, I think.
Oh, for shit's sake.
Yeah,
Around when he addressed the World War II veterans
yeah,
that
without
were
a mask.
still alive.
Shit.
Yeah, you have
Could
your
you
shit split, dude, but put a
I'm
mask
gonna give you the
on.
chance.
Have
Could
a
you
little
imagine?
respect.
Could you imagine if he would have given one of the old guys COVID and they died? Oh my
Oh.
God! You
Oh my
have
God.
there has to be some sort of, even if just any of those old guys die, even if he's not responsible, people are gonna blame him.
Absolutely.
Like we never find out about it, he would cover it up.
But that's what
Well,
I'm saying.
that's true.
You've got to wear a mask. You got to be smarter than that. If one of those old guys just happens to catch it from God knows where, you know damn well he'll be blamed on Trump. Why?
Yeah, due to the fact that
Why is he being
you
so
know,
stupid? He doesn't wear a
yeah.
mask.
he was there.
I don't like to wear a mask. It's embarrassing to me. Well, then just don't meet him.
His mask would turn orange.
And I'll tell you the smartest thing that Biden's doing,
Ah,
the smartest thing that Biden is doing during all this is shutting up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sean, don't you agree? The smartest thing he could do is just keep his mouth shut. You
Yeah.
don't want to be rumbling, stumbling around, putting your foot in your mouth.
No, and
You don't
know,
want to remind people how
you've
bad
seen
of a
over the
candidate
years.
you are. You want to shut up and and make this more about the other guy's flub ups than adding your own to it.
I just, and I wonder, when we've talked about this, it just seems like I'm not going to say lost his faculties, but he is not as sharp. He's not the same man he was 2 years ago.
That's what I'm
Or 3
saying.
years
So
ago.
she should shut up. He should find a
Yeah.
good,
I mean,
powerful
this is,
candidate as vice president
I
and
don't
just
know what
don't say anything.
I don't know what a debate's going to look like. And the president is a guy who likes to come out of the corner and kind of throw you off and hit you with surprises. So I just don't know what to expect. I don't know. And, there are a lot of things you can do in politics. You can't take 10 years off the human mind.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You never know what you're gonna find in a debate. One guy telling people to drink bleach,
Yeah.
the other person calling the other a dog face pony show or whatever the hell. God knows what kind of mess we're gonna have.
What a mess of picking the president at a
Yeah.
pivotal time.
Yeah.
Campaign
Here's your
basically
choice.
shut down.
Here's your choice. Our choice is either COVID or murder hornets. Who are you voting for? That's why I hate talking politics. I
Yeah,
hate
it's
it.
Yeah.
And why are we doing it? Stop it.
Yeah. All right. What else, Sean? Because Sean Boleyn has to bring it up.
I know.
That's how I roll. All right.
Are you
So we
coughing?
talked about
Are you coughing?
Buffer,
Did you cough?
Yeah. Are you
buffer.
are you
You
are
have
you
the
giving
COVID?
us COVID through the show?
What the hell, Sean?
Absolutely.
Are you choking on that
trying.
sausage?
I've been trying to find a way to not,
He's choking on the
pass
sausage.
on without
It's got
blaming
the
myself.
the
Second
manure scented
staffer-
sausage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go
I'll
ahead,
tell you
Sean.
what,
I'm
talking
sorry. I
about-
didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's all right. A second staffer over at Centennial Point Senior Living over in Springfield tested positive for COVID-19. And so 2 staff members and 2 residents there. Certainly not to the point where we were, in recent days with the villas, but they're keeping a close eye on that. This whole COVID-19 thing is just kind of a mad thing. If you don't see it, it's not present in your world, then it's easy to think it's exaggerated. And if you see it up close, you think the world's ending. I mean, it's just such an interesting thing as far as how your point of view affects how you look at it.
Well, politics. People make their judgments based on politics, which I just find disgusting. I really do. But that's what they do. They make their decisions based on how they feel politically. Some people are afraid to die. Some people cannot live with themselves accidentally getting someone else sick. I'm serious. And this is my biggest fear. My biggest fear is that I'm some kind of what do they call it? The people who have it.
Asymptomatic
Yeah.
carrier.
I would hate to be an asymptomatic carrier. It would crush me if I somehow made someone else sick. I could not live with giving someone a disease that kills them. And there are some people that they just don't give a shit. I mean,
There's a lot of people that don't give a shit.
well, but I'm saying it but at the same time, they feel, why should they? They feel, why should they give a
Right.
shit? Why is it their problem? I know Dr. Anthony Fauci gave a warning.
My concern is that if states or cities or regions, in their attempt, understandable, to get back to some form of normality, disregard to a greater or lesser degree the checkpoints that we put in our guidelines about when it is safe to proceed in pulling back on mitigation. Because I feel if that occurs, there is a real risk that you will trigger an outbreak that you may not be able to control, which in fact, paradoxically will set you back, not only leading to some suffering and death that could be avoided, but could even set you back on the road to trying to get economic recovery.
Yeah, I 100% agree with him. There's the other concern. If we go back too early and this shit comes back trifold or much worse this time around, it's going to make it even longer. And I want to go through this. I want this pandemic to be over as soon as possible. I don't want to have it be over because God forbid, we couldn't wear masks for one more week and we end up elongating this by months or years. And by the way, can I point out the person that made the restrictions, the guidelines, is the fucking president. And now he's out there basically bashing his own guidelines and no one seems to care about this. He's the guy who came up with them. He's the one who said we need to do this and this. And now every day he's like, and we're time to get it back. We're going to get it back open. You're the asshole that closed it.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want us to do? Quit talking out of both sides of your ass.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. Oh, well.
All right. What else?
On the
Sean?
lawmakers could be back to work as soon as next week. They've been away because of COVID-19. It's going to be complicated. They're going to have to wear masks. They've got all these staffers. It's not exactly a convention hall where you can adapt the space. It's going to be tricky, but the governor says, yeah, we need to get down to the business of figuring out a budget, and maybe coming up with some state relief plans, which seems a little difficult with their debt, but that's the situation. So it could be good news for at least the carryout business in town. Gabatoni's.
I'll tell you, my wife and I have found some new restaurants that we really enjoy. But you want to know what I enjoy the most about restaurants?
What is that?
Curb service.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you, I freaking I love curb service. That is great. I can't tell you how many times I have wanted a Head West, but I hate the fact they don't have a drive-through. Now I can go anytime I want with the curb service. You know what I mean? It's fantastic. Is
You just pull up and they bring you your sandwich.
yes, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's what I love, and I hate the fact that I know that's going to go away at some point.
You know, it may not.
Yeah,
It may not. I mean, you just have to like look at the big picture. I mean,
Restaurants
that
might
might
have
be something.
noticed.
That might be something
Yeah.
that's especially places like Head West and other small franchises, local businesses. That might be something that they're going to continue to do.
Why not maybe have a couple parking
Exactly.
spaces in front where it's just like this is where the curbside goes, and if you pay a little more, it would be worth it. I really enjoy getting food from places and not having to go inside. We've gotten some really good curbside stuff, so I liked it. By the way, here's Patton Oswalt, the great comedian, talking about something that most of us have learned about sweatpants.
Oh, and also, I want to apologize to anybody that I ever made fun of for wearing sweatpants in public. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was wrong. You were right. They're a miracle. They're a miracle. I thought that the pinnacle of mankind would be Mars colony or teleportation. Nope, sweatpants. That was it. Sweatpants. We started with fire and the wheel and writing, agriculture, penicillin. Sweatpants. Everything else, we're just on the downward slope. We did it. We're all done. And if you see somebody in sweatpants in public, they stink. They smell horrible. Nobody takes a shower, shampoos, shaves, brushes their teeth, and then puts sweatpants. At that point, they just go, oh, well, I may as well get dressed if I did all that. Why would I? Sweatpants are always pulled on over undeodorized flesh. It's an unbroken belt of stink. That's all it is. You can cut slices like a bundt cake and throw it at an attacker. Just, oh, hot mayonnaise.
Oh my God.
That was
He said hot mayonnaise.
Oh, I
That is,
love it.
oh my God.
God, that's great.
Uh,
All right. Someone tried to call in.
Uh-oh. I hope it's not my boyfriend.
Sean, was it you that tried to call in? Sean, did you try to call in?
oh yeah, at one point.
I think it's Sean.
I couldn't get into my Skype on my phone. So
Oh, hold on. Let's see. Here is. We did get this message. Let me see. I don't know who this is. No. Yeah, I'm sorry, but for some reason the phone, unless I just missed it, the phone rang today, and I'm sorry, I completely missed it. Sean, but I see Sean, you tried to call in, and we've missed like 7 calls.
Yippers.
We missed 7 calls. I'm sorry, people. I just missed the phone.
I never heard it.
Yeah,
I didn't either. Normally we hear it.
Yeah. So it wasn't me, right? This wasn't my fuck up. It's
No.
whatever. The phone number is 815-414-2125, but you don't have any time to call because the show's almost over. All right. Sean, is that it for the news, my man?
Yeah, just I'll throw in one more note. There
All right.
was a pretty creepy thing over in Decatur. A couple of folks found in a garage, and carbon monoxide was the cause, but they believe it could have been accidental. It was 2 individuals, 23 and 24, and both dead over in Decatur.
Oh,
Oh
God.
wow. What were they doing in the running car in the garage or whatever?
You know what?
Is that what it was? Running car in a garage?
Let me see.
Well, if it was carbon monoxide, I mean, something had to be running.
Yeah, I know that when I was growing up there was
accidental poisoning.
yeah.
They were conducting a missing persons case when they found a 24-year-old man and 23-year-old woman in a detached garage. The woman was in a vehicle parked in the garage. The man was lying on the floor just outside of the open driver's door. There was no gas in the vehicle. Oh, jeez.
That's weird.
None of the victims had a criminal
How is that
trauma.
accidental?
Well, you could listen. I can see. Growing up in Gillespie, there was one winter, there was a couple parking out at the lake or something, and they were right next to some trees, and it was really icy and stuff. And I remember there was some sort of, while they were going at it, there was some sort of carbon monoxide poisoning because
Mm.
there was no ventilation around the car or something, and I remember it being an issue.
That's a
Wow.
catalytic converter issue.
Yeah, and then when the police found them, they were naked in the act.
Oh my God. Ray, I remember that.
Yeah,
That's not. I do.
it would have been
remember
when you
that.
and I were when we were kids.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were kids, and
That
that
was in
happened.
the
and it
80s.
was
Yeah.
like, and it's like, and our parents like totally threw that and said, "This is why you do not go parking.
Yeah, I couldn't.
This is why you do not go screw in a car."
I couldn't
because
remember
you
all the
could die.
details, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
All I know is I used to have
Nothing
I used to have sex in a car in the 80s, and it was very
Well, I'm
uncomfortable, but
sorry,
it was
that-
always good.
Who didn't?
It was
But-
always
I sure didn't.
it was always kind of good because it felt dirty. But now I got to be
Anywhere.
honest, I would rather have sex about anywhere than a car. Oh,
Oh my God.
I just
My
want to
leg-
know how in the hell I got in the back seat.
I would think it's
I look
been.
at back seats these days, and I'm just like, how in the hell did
Oh.
I get back there?
Listen, in all honesty, when's the last time you sat in the back seat?
Oh God.
I
don't
can't
know.
remember. Like being
Wow.
a 50 some odd year old fat man. If someone told me you got to sit in the back seat, I'd be so quick with a fuck off coming out of my mouth.
No, I'm walking.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
So yeah, no, I don't even I'll sit in the passenger seat if my wife's driving. But outside of that, I don't even think, I don't even like to sit in the passenger seat unless my wife or daughter's driving.
Uh-huh.
I certainly wouldn't sit in the back seat. I would be like so quick to say, "Oh, fuck up, I'm not sitting in the back seat." What do you think What do you think I miss Daisy? Sit in the back seat for God's sakes? Hell no.
You weren't only in the back seat, but you were in the back seat with somebody else doing
There's
active
no way.
things.
There's no way.
I don't understand how I did it.
The first time
Morgan Freeman's back and driving Miss Raisy.
the first time that I had sex was in a car.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't
Not me.
remember if I was any good at it or not. I seem to think I was good at it, but yet the act was horrible. Because the first time you're like 16 years old fumbling around, you're not even sure what's going on. And it was in a car. And then there was some times I had sex in a car since then, but I never remember it being overly comfortable.
Oh no, never.
And then I had
My legs are too goddamn long to
Yeah.
be screwing in a car.
well, but
I did the first time I had sex in a car, I was dating a guy and I liked this other guy. So this other guy
Oh.
stole.
by the way, this is going to be a big horror story. I can tell you right now. And I don't mean horror like an HORROR. I mean the other kind of horror. Go right ahead. Don't allow me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
To
It was
interrupt you.
it was a Honda Civic.
Yes.
So it was like a hatchback. Okay. So
Can I ask
This
how many
guy-
how many people are wondering if it's going to end up being the boyfriend or the guy she liked? I just want to point that out. But go right ahead.
no, well, I was like dating a guy, but I didn't really like the guy that I was dating. I liked this other guy. And we got the boyfriend drunk and he passed out and we stole his car.
So
And
it's going to be with the
yeah.
guy you like, of course.
yeah, and we weren't even 16, I don't think.
Uh,
And so, but no, what was funny is how I got busted is that when the boyfriend, the next time he drove his car, there were like footprints on the back window. And he was like, huh, that looks like a size 7.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
no, yeah. But
great.
anyway, no, but yeah, it had to be a hatchback or an SUV or something. But back in the 80s, and we didn't have SUVs and stuff like that. We just had smaller cars, and these long ass legs just did not comply.
so let me
Just
put it
didn't.
this way.
Okay.
Now, do you remember the first time you had sex in a bed?
First time I had sex.
Like when I was dating, really? When I was dating,
Yeah.
he's a youngster. I remember I got a girlfriend who was she was babysitting or something, and she said, "Oh, come on by," and it was in a bed, and I remember going, "Wow, now this is what it's about. It's not like a car, you know. You're not manipulating around the steering wheel or having to get in the back seat. Like this bed is amazing." And then from then on, it became how every time you had sex, you wanted it to be in a bed. I mean, you would settle for sex in a pool or sex in a car, whatever, but you wanted it to be a bed every time. Well, now as an
I-
adult,
I can't remember the first time I had sex in a bed.
really,
The first time I had sex was like in a pasture.
like
I was like, it was outside. It was outside on a Winnie the Pooh blanket.
like in a field with cow shit and whatever. You were right there.
I don't think there was cow. Well, maybe there was cows. I don't know. I was drunk. I didn't care. So, yeah. But no, it was in a
You weren't-
pasture, and it was
you
on a
weren't-
Winnie the Pooh blanket.
You weren't assaulted or anything, right? I want to make sure that it was.
Oh, I don't
All
remember.
right.
I don't know. I just wanted to get it over with.
Wow, Summers
I
in our chat
I
room.
just-
Summers says if her first time was in a bed too, Nikki.
Uh-huh.
She was in a bed with somebody's
Yeah.
grandparents. She was in bed at his grandparents. Oh, okay. I had to make that.
It was his twin size bed in his room.
Really?
Hmm.
I definitely don't remember any stories like that. Good for you. No, I was in a car the first several times. Sean, what about you? Is there any some good car loving?
Physically incapable.
Yeah, even when you were 15?
Yeah, I never could do something like that.
Yeah,
Mr. Excitement.
my first time I was like I was too young. Anybody agree? You were too young with this
We were
statement?
all too young.
I was too
Oh, yeah.
young.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I wish I'd have waited. I do. So I was like 15 or 16. I think I was 16 because I was driving. Or of course I might have been driving illegally. But I was too young. And I wish I'd have waited. And it was in a car, and and I don't even remember the girl. I'm sure she's in jail or something now. I don't know. But it would have been nice to have a cool story. You guys ever hear me tell that story? No, 'cause it's not a good story.
Yeah.
It's just I wish
Mine-
it was
mine's
a
not a good
better
story.
story. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's not a good story. Not proud.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Most of us, most adults wish we would have waited, if for no other reason, to have a better story. So any of your children out there, I don't think there's no children listening, but God forbid, if anyone takes my advice, wait until you know.
Oh, I will knock.
I
my
waited
son-
till my
I
wedding
will
night.
knock my son's head off. I
Yeah.
swear to God.
Tell him to have a good story.
Well, yeah, he's going to have sex when he goes to college, if I can pay for it. Otherwise, he's not going to have sex
Right.
because he's not going to college.
I got
So,
news.
There you
I
go.
got news for there. You never control. You're not going to control when the kid, But
Oh, don't tell me that.
I know I'm just saying as a father of as a parent of a young daughter, I know that I can't tell her don't have sex. She'd tell me to fuck off. It's a ridiculous thing, but I can tell her make sure it's a good story.
Exactly.
Make sure that it's as you get older, you share stories and make sure it's a good story. So
Yeah.
go out of your
Not,
way.
not in a cow pasture on a Winnie the Pooh blanket.
It would be wonderful if I said the first time I had sex, it was with somebody I was really in love with, who really knocked my socks off. And
Okay, so
instead
when was you had sex with somebody you actually loved?
it was a while. It was a while down the line, and I wish, like I said, I
Oh.
wish I would have waited. You know what I mean? For an actual
I was
girlfriend,
17.
for an actual girlfriend that I cared about and who, I still had pleasant. It was a long time of the amount of people that I dated or hooked up with before I have one that I have a fond memory of.
Oh God, I miss ball players.
Well, what I'm saying is, when you Nikki, what about you? You had a boyfriend in high school, right? That you guys are pretty close.
Yeah,
So-
17.
so you had you were probably in love with the guy you were having sex with.
Oh yeah, I still love him today.
Yeah. See, now that would be nice. It takes a while in for the amount of people that I had sex with before I got with one that I actually loved, which would that's a nice story. But why do
Mhm.
you, but instead we're human beings, so we always go by our impulses, and you have sex with someone you don't even really like or don't even know.
Yeah.
Like
I think you do that a lot more when you're younger.
yeah, but
But I could be wrong.
that's what I mean is I wish I had a better story the first time. Like I honestly mean this. I don't even know the name of the first person that I was with. And I just think that's a little too important to have been somebody whose
Yeah.
name you forgot. So that's all. If I could give any advice, I would say to at least find someone important enough that you remember their name.
Oh,
What-
definitely.
What do I know? Sean said he had to hang up because he said he has no recollection of what we're talking about. There's no he didn't feel he could join in this conversation. We should probably wrap it up, you guys. The show has gone long enough. We're only a half hour running late. I want to thank everybody for listening. And it was an interesting experiment today because we were both on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And please get hold of me and let me know which one you prefer. Because I know some of you might have watched both.
Yeah.
Let me know which one worked better and which one we should, if we should just choose one. So let me know.
Okay. Yep, let's do it. I've got a lot of feedback I've got a lot of messages. So
Send them to me
I
so
will.
we can make a decision on this. And it'd be nice to work it out. And, I just want to, and the good thing is the people that listen to just the audio, that number's growing all the time. And that's a pretty big number. But I feel the video is important. And I know those people like to watch the show. And, I just want to make sure that we get to everyone. I just want to make sure that we get to everyone we can get to, and cover as much as we can. We should wrap it up today, though. Thank you so much for listening. That's going to wrap up today's show. We're back tomorrow, bright and early, at least for us, at 8 o'clock with another edition of Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.
goodbye, everybody.
So long,
Bye.
people. So long. Have a great rest of your day. That's it. Bye-bye.
You better wake
Done.
up, sleepyhead, and get your fat butt out of bed. There's a man who got up at 4 a.m. just to play you Zeppelin and Pearl Jam. Raymond Lytle is his name. Some have called him just a bit insane. But you may find him a little idiotic. But his is the only morning show you can say has really got it. Slam the door, turn the key, get on the road now. With Central Illinois' only way to get down. It's nasty, it's dirty, but it's funny, 'cause it's the Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster. He's lewd, he's rude, he's crude, but it doesn't matter, 'cause he's the morning master of rock and roll and laughter. Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster. Sean Belen Scott, news and sports. Bodine's running down North Grand in his undershorts. Michelle will dwell on things colored pink and purple. They'll explain why Jim made a remake of that movie called The Black Hole. Slam the door, turn the key, get on the road now. The Central Illinois morning way to get down. It's nasty, it's dirty, but it's funny, 'cause it's the Raymond Lytle's morning disaster. He's lewd, he's rude, he's crude, but it doesn't matter, 'cause he's the morning master of rock and roll and laughter. Raymond Lytle's morning disaster.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for listening. We are on the stream, on the live stream only. The replay of today's show will start in seconds. We're saying goodbye on Facebook Live and we're saying goodbye on YouTube Live. Thank you so much for watching. That's going to wrap up today's show. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow when we start the next new show. Once again, let me know how you guys thought of YouTube. Our first time ever using YouTube Live. I'd like to know what you thought of it. All right. Get me some feedback either on Facebook during Facebook Messenger or send me an email, Ray Lytle, RAYLYTLE @gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. The replay of today's show will start in seconds. As soon as I hit play here, hold on. We'll start in seconds on the stream. And as I said, the video stream, we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Let's see. Let's hit the right button. Let's start it, people. It is the Ray Lytle's morning disaster.
Hey, kids, what time is it?